Hello dear students, welcome back. Today we will be continuing studying vocabulary, and then we will do a quick review of our tenses that we have studied in B1 level. Okay, let's start with some vocabulary, and then as I said we will continue with some tenses. Let's see. We have seen ambitious, and ambition means hers. It is a verb, and we said that ambitious is an adjective, and it meant hırslı. Satisfying, it is an adjective. Tatmin edici. Logical, adjective, and illogical, also an adjective, and they are opposite. Logical means mantıklı, and illogical is mantıksız. Mature and immature. Adjective, adjective. Olgun, çocuksu. Practical. Basically, I don't know if you have noticed, but we are doing vocabulary with their opposite meanings. Practical and impractical. They are both adjectives again. Pratik and impractical means pratik olmayan. Again, they have opposite meanings. We have insecure, kendine güveni olmayan. Regular, irregular. Düzenli, düzensiz. We have correct and incorrect. Doğru, yanlış. We have responsible, sorumlu, irresponsible, sorumsuz. And responsibility, sorumluluk. And relevant, irrelevant. Relevant, alakalı olan. Irrelevant, alakasız. Literate, illiterate. Again, they are opposite. Okumuş, okumamış. Aware, unaware. Farkında, farkında değil. For example, be aware of bears. And we can say she is unaware of the danger. Kind, unkind, kibar, kaba, kibar olmayan. And reliable, we said, unreliable, güvenilir, güvenilmez. Willing, we used it. We said it means istekli in Turkish. And unwilling, isteksiz. We also have, we said aware. Awareness is noun and it means farkındalık. Believe is a verb that we all know, but the noun form is belief. İnanç. And for example, depth and deep. This is noun, this is adjective. Derinlik and derin. Dark, karanlık, adjective. And darkness is noun, karanlık. And we have fear, a noun. We have fearless, an adjective. It means korkusuz. Growth is noun. Grow is a verb. It can be used for people or plants, for like flowers or trees. And growth means it is a noun. And we have similar and similarity. Similar is an adjective and similarity is a noun. Similar means benzer, similarity benzerlik. For example, familiar, it is an adjective. Aşina, we can use in a sentence like this. You are so familiar. Have we met before? It means çok tanıdık görünüyorsun, aşina görünüyorsun. Daha önce tanıştık mı? Then this is a one that students get confused a lot. This is the same word, but it is also used as verb and noun. In verb, we pronounce it as record, and it means kaydetmek. But when we're using it as a noun, we say record, and it means record or kayıt. Record, record. It is very important to pronounce it in a correct way. And now, sad and sadness, for example, happy and happiness. Now we are seeing nouns and adjectives. Sad is an adjective and it means üzgün. Sadness is a noun and it means üzüntü. Happy is an adjective, is used as an adjective and it means mutlu. And this is noun form of happy, happiness, and it means mutluluk. For example, sick is an adjective and it means hasta, but when I want to make it a noun, sickness, hastalık. We also have spread. This is a verb and it means yayılmak. For example, coronavirus spread around the world. And it is an irregular verb. That's why actually I made this sentence in past simple, but verb 2 and verb 3 form is also spread because it is an irregular verb. Coronavirus spread around the world. And now, sum up. To sum up, we have summary. This is noun. And the first one is a phrasal verb. Sum up means özetlemek and summary is özet. Appealing and unappealing. These are, again, adjectives. Appealing means göze güzel görünen şey. Bu da kötü görünen. Now we have fail and failure. Fail is a verb and it means kaybetmek, başaramamak. Failure is a noun and it means başarısızlık. Devote and devotion. Devote is a noun. Devotion is a noun and devote is a verb. And devote means adamak. And devotion, adanmış olmak. For example, I devoted myself, kendimi adadım, to saving people, for example. A doctor can say that. Weak and weakness. Weak is an adjective. Weakness is a noun. Zayıf, but it's not in the meaning as skinny or thin. It's a weakness in a strength form. Strong and strength. This is an adjective. It defines the noun, and strength is a noun on its own. Now we have maintain and maintenance. This is verb, this is noun. It means sürdürmek. And maintenance means sürdürülen. For example, you should maintain your successful notes. Now we have one category of vocabulary, then we will continue with review. We have struggle. This is both a verb and a noun. Verb, zorluk çekmek, zorlanmak. And noun is zorluk, güçlük. For example, we struggled to find our way back home. Or they had a struggle. In here we use this as a verb, and here we will use as a noun. They had a struggle when they were repairing the roof. Like this. We have legend and legendary. This is noun, this is adjective. It means efsane, and this is efsanevi. And now extinct. This is an adjective. Soyu tükenmekte olan ya da tükenmiş. Now we have studied our vocabulary list for B1. I mean, it's not all of it, but now we will review our tenses. And we will start with present simple. As you remember from our first lessons, we studied present simple and said that it's when we're talking about habits or actions that happen on a regular basis or regularly, we use present simple, also with state verbs. Our time indicators were always, usually, never, sometimes, often, rarely, hardly ever. Also, we could use time phrases like this. It can be every day, every week, every month, every Tuesday, and goes on like this. Or we could say on weekends, on Mondays, for example. It gives the same meaning as every day, every week, they mean the same thing. And for our sentence structure, we said that with subjects like I, you, we, they, we use verbs bare form. An affirmative sentence. And with subjects such as he, she, it, we use again verb 1, but we add s at the end of the verb and object at last. For example, I go to school every day. If I want to remake this sentence using she as an object, I would say she goes to school every day. And when we're making negative sentence using present simple, with I, you, we, they subjects, we use don't, verb 1, and with he, she, it subjects, doesn't, verb 1, this is 1 by the way, and objects. She doesn't go swimming often. If I want to replace my subject with I don't go swimming often. When we're using question form with present simple, we put do or does, it based on our subject, then verb 1, and we again don't add s because at the end of the verb because it's already in here. These are yes/no questions. But if I want to ask about something specific like place, time, person, cause, I use WH questions. For example, what, when, where, who, and etc. And if I want to add these to my question sentence, I put them before do does. And it applies for every tense we have actually. For example, why do you sleep a lot? I took WH question at the beginning, then do because of the subject, and then verb bare form. Then we have studied present progressive, which is present continuous. They mean the same thing. And when we're talking about present progressive, we want to indicate that the action is happening now. Or we can use this one for temporary situations. For example, I'm looking for a job nowadays. Or for planned future. And when we want to give these meaning, not the last one, but the first two, when we want to give that meaning, we use now, right now, at the moment, currently, and nowadays, time phrases. But for the last one, we can use any time phrase that refers to the future. And our sentence structure in this one is subject and be form, verb ing. For example, what does it mean? I am verb ing, you, we, they are verb ing, and he, she, it is verb ing. And there were some state verbs that we can't use with any progressive. It can be present continuous, past continuous, present perfect continuous. We can't use in any progressive those state verbs. Those were, for example, believe, notice, have, but when it means own, owning something, love, like, need, like this, we don't use these verbs in any continuous / progressive tense. And if I want to make negative sentence using present continuous, I write my sentence, make my sentence like this: subject, be not, and verb ing. For example, she isn't coming with us to get ice cream today, I can say. For the question form, I take be at the beginning of the sentence, subject, verb ing, then object or time or place. This is a yes/no question form. If I am going to add any WH question words, I would put them here in the beginning. For example, what, when, which, like this. Then we have talked about past simple. We saw verb to here in past simple, as well as was, were. These were used with. These were used after subject. I, he, she, it, gets, was, and you, we, they, gets, were. Was, were is verb to form of be. And when we have studied verb to, we said that we have regular and irregular verbs. In regular verbs, for example, listen, we only add ed at the end. For example, worked. Nothing else changes. Worked, walked. But in irregular verbs, the whole verb can change. For example, eat, verb 2, verb 1, and in verb 2 it becomes ate. Run becomes ran. Catch becomes caught. Fly becomes flew. And in our affirmative sentences, with was, were, if I'm going to was, were as the verb of the sentence, after subject, I use was, were, and then whatever I want to add or whatever I want to inform. And with other verbs, I use verb to and then object. It doesn't change depending on the subject. It always gets verb to. It only differs in was, were. For example, she ate all the cake yesterday. And we said that when we're using past simple, we have to give an exact time to differ it from a present perfect, like yesterday, like last night, last night, last month, last Saturday. It can be like this, or we used ago. For example, 3 months ago or 2 years ago. Or just a date that indicates the past. She ate all the cake. This is an irregular verb. I used verb 2. We visited our grandparents last Wednesday. In negative sentences, after subject, we use didn't and then verb 1. This is important. After didn't, I don't use verb 2. Instead, I use verb 1. I didn't do exercise today because I'm sick, for example, because I was sick. She didn't inform us. I use didn't and verb 1. In question form, we start with did, subject, verb 1, and object. And if it's not a yes-no question, I will add WH right at the beginning of the sentence. Where did you go last night, for example? And I can answer like, I went to hospital. This is it for past simple. And then we studied past progressive / continuous. We said that we don't use it very often on its own if we are not asked specifically what we were doing at an exact time in the past. Rather, we generally use it with when while, and we use it together with past simple. We said that after when, we use past simple. After while, we use past continuous. They may be happening at the same time, or one of the actions may interrupted the other. I was walking home when I saw her. The rule of past progressive is subject, was verb, and verb ing. This is it. Let's give one more example. While my brother was listening music, I was, comma is very important, I was studying maths. It can be 2 long actions, it can be 2 short actions, or one short, 1 long action. Then we have studied present perfect. And we said that the action happened in the past, but we can see its effects today. So, our sentence structure was after subject, we use either have or has, and then verb 3. And how do we do verb 3? If it's regular, again we add ed, and if it's irregular, we use past participle verb 3 form. I, they gets have after them, and he, she, it takes has after them. And the time phrases we used were since, for, already, just, yet, or ever, never. Also, we use present perfect to talk about our experiences. I have graduated university. We don't give an exact time when we're using present perfect. Instead, we can give like a duration using since for. She has been a teacher for 5 years. And when we're talking about present perfect progressive, we said that it differs from perfect. The action started in the past and it went on till today, and it's still continuing. And its rule is subject has been and verb ing. I have been studying for 5 hours. This is also an example. Okay, dear students, thank you for tuning in today. We have reviewed some of the tenses and studied vocabulary, and we will continue. We have only left past perfect and past perfect progressive, I guess. We will do that, and then we will have our final exam in the next lesson. See you.